There is a code written in your mind about money. It was written long before you ever earned your first dollar, before you opened your first bank account or paid your first bill. This code determines how much you will earn, how much you will save, and how much you will keep. It shapes every financial decision you make, often without you ever knowing it exists. Scientists call these invisible scripts your money blueprint, and they are extraordinarily powerful. A child watches their parents fight about money in a dimly lit kitchen. The voices are sharp, the tension thick enough to cut. In that moment, a belief is born: money equals conflict, money equals pain. 30 years later, that same child, now an adult, sabotages every opportunity for financial success. Not because they lack intelligence or ambition, but because deep in their subconscious, prosperity feels dangerous. Your relationship with money was shaped by 1,000 moments you barely remember. The offhand comment from a teacher, the stressed silence of a parent, the cultural messages absorbed like oxygen. These moments crystallized into beliefs, and those beliefs became your financial reality. But here's what neuroscience has discovered: the code can be rewritten. Your brain possesses a quality called neuroplasticity, the ability to forge new pathways and abandon old ones. The money story you inherited is not the money story you must keep. Consider Sarah, a talented graphic designer who could never charge what she was worth. Every time she prepared to send an invoice, her stomach would tighten, her hands would shake. She would lower her rates at the last moment, apologizing for even asking to be paid. In therapy, she uncovered a memory, her mother telling her that wanting money was greedy, that good people should not care about wealth. That single belief had cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of her career. When she finally understood the source of her block, something shifted. She began to see money not as a measure of greed, but as energy exchanged for value created. Within 6 months, she had doubled her rates and tripled her income. The only thing that changed was the story she told herself about what money meant. This is the power of awareness, the first step in unlocking prosperity. Your brain operates on 2 systems when it comes to financial decisions. System 1 is fast, emotional, automatic, the part that reacts before you can think. System 2 is slow, analytical, deliberate, the part that weighs options and calculates outcomes. Most of your money choices are made by System 1, the emotional brain. This is why you overspend when you are stressed, why you avoid looking at your bank balance when it is low. Your emotional brain is trying to protect you, but it is using outdated information from your past. It remembers every financial wound, every moment of scarcity, every time money meant survival. And it responds to modern financial decisions as if they were life or death threats. Researchers discovered something remarkable when they scanned the brains of people contemplating financial loss. The same neural regions lit up as when the person experienced physical pain. Your brain literally processes losing money the same way it processes getting hurt. This is why the fear of loss is twice as powerful as the joy of an equivalent gain. This cognitive bias, called loss aversion, silently sabotages your investments and keeps you playing small. But when you understand this mechanism, you can work with it instead of against it. You can reframe risk as possibility and loss as tuition paid for wisdom gained. Think of your budget not as a cage that restricts you, but as a blueprint for the life you truly want to build. Every dollar you allocate is a vote for your values, a declaration of what matters most. The scarcity mindset whispers that there will never be enough, that you must hoard and protect and fear. The abundance mindset knows that value can be created, that opportunities multiply, that generosity returns compounded. Neither mindset is about how much money you currently have in your bank account. They are about how you see the world and your place in it. A person with $10 and an abundance mindset will find ways to create value and attract opportunity. A person with $10 million and a scarcity mindset will live in constant fear of losing it all. The difference is not in the numbers, but in the lens through which you view your financial reality. Consider the story of Marcus, a man who grew up in poverty and built a successful business. Despite earning more in a month than his parents earned in a year, he could not enjoy his success. He worked 16-hour days, terrified that if he slowed down, everything would collapse. He hoarded money, denied himself simple pleasures, and pushed away anyone who got too close. His scarcity mindset, forged in childhood, had become a prison of his own making. It took a health crisis to wake him up, to make him realize that he had been living as if he were still poor. He began the difficult work of updating his internal money story, of teaching his nervous system that he was safe now. He started small, allowing himself to buy the good coffee, to take a vacation, to trust that there would be enough. Slowly, the grip of scarcity loosened, and he discovered something unexpected. Abundance was not about having more. It was about fearing less. Your financial habits are grooves carved deep into your neural pathways through repetition. Every time you make an impulsive purchase to soothe a bad mood, you deepen that groove. Every time you avoid looking at your credit card statement, you reinforce that pattern of avoidance. But every time you pause before spending, you begin to carve a new pathway. Every time you face your financial reality with courage, you strengthen a different neural circuit. Change does not require perfection. It requires consistency and compassion for yourself. The most powerful wealth-building tool is not a stock portfolio or a high salary. It is the ability to delay gratification, to choose your future self over your present impulse. Studies show that this single trait predicts financial success more reliably than intelligence or education. And it is a skill that can be developed at any age, through practice and awareness. Compound interest has been called the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It is the snowball of wealth that grows larger and faster as it rolls forward through time. A small amount invested consistently over decades can become a fortune, not through magic, but through mathematics. Yet most people never harness this power because they cannot see 30 years into the future. They sacrifice long-term prosperity for short-term comfort, and the cost is staggering. Every day a decision is delayed. The power of compounding has one less day to build your future. But here is the beautiful truth. It is never too late to start, and small actions matter more than you think. The person who starts investing $100 a month at age 40 will still build substantial wealth by retirement. The key is not timing the market perfectly or finding the secret investment. The key is simply beginning and persisting. Your financial freedom is not a distant dream reserved for the lucky or the brilliant. It is a series of small, boring, consistent choices made over and over again. It is saying no to the impulse purchase and yes to the automatic transfer to savings. It is choosing to learn about money instead of avoiding it because it feels overwhelming. It is forgiving yourself for past mistakes and committing to make better choices moving forward. The truth is, building wealth is far less about genius and far more about discipline and time. You do not need to be perfect with money. You need to be intentional. You do not need to earn a six-figure salary. You need to spend less than you make and invest the difference. You do not need to understand complex financial instruments. You need to understand yourself. When was the last time you truly questioned the money stories you inherited from your family? What would change if you saw money not as a source of stress, but as a tool for building the life you desire? Your financial future is not written in stone. It is a story you are writing with every choice you make today. The code in your mind can be rewritten. One thought, one decision, one action at a time. This is not just information. This is an invitation to transformation. To look at your relationship with money with fresh eyes and an open heart. To release the limiting beliefs that no longer serve you and embrace new possibilities. To understand that prosperity is not just about the numbers in your account, but about the freedom in your soul. The journey from financial struggle to financial peace is not easy, but it is possible. And it begins not with a windfall or a lucky break, but with a shift in perspective. With the courage to face your money story and the commitment to write a new chapter. The code is yours to rewrite, and the prosperity you seek is waiting on the other side of that choice.